It's because of hydrostatic pressure and the impassive principle, there is more water pressure released. Now what happens if I put it at the bottom? Hydrostatic pressure works the best at the bottom. So when the hole is poked at the lower point, hydrostatic pressure becomes stronger. It becomes more pressurized and there's more water flow. This shows that the deeper the lower the hole, the lower the exit point is, the higher the pressure, the higher the hydrostatic pressure. Now I'm going to test out the bigger water bottle. Let's see how much pressure does this flow. Let's start from this hole. It also happens when you poke the hole at the upper point, there's low pressure, but it's easier for me to squirt the water out because of its size. The bigger the size of a container, the higher the hydrostatic pressure becomes. Now what happens if I poke in the middle? When I poke at the middle, I did not even have to squish it. In Pascal principle, the hydrostatic pressure becomes higher because I poked it at the lower point, and because of this bottle is a bigger size, it has a higher pressure, has lower air pressure, and the higher atmospheric pressure presses against the hole here. Where the water comes out, air replaces it. So I poked the lower hole. And it squirted out much faster. And the water sprayed out much faster. Better pressure of the container. And lastly, it's the plastic bag. Let's see how much water can squirt out. It's because of its weak integrity, I was able to poke holes at the wall at the plastic bag with ease. And it's because there's fewer holes, hydrostatic pressure is stronger. But when I poke more holes, water flows out and the hydrostatic pressure becomes weaker. And it fills up the container like this. There is so much water being distilled out. So in this experiment, the constant variable is the type of liquid used. The manipulated variable is the type of materials used to store water. And the responding variable is how much is the hydrostatic pressure and how much water it can store. The conclusion of this experiment is the more amount of liquid a container can store, the higher the hydrostatic pressure is. And also the stiffness of the material is weaker, it's easier to poke, it's easier to expose a hole to allow water to flow out of the container due to Pascal's principle. Thank you, and that's all for my experiment.